Hello! So it is so hard to decide what's worth buying and what's not when we're constantly bombarded with makeup launch after makeup launch. I have a bunch of new beauty releases here in front of me that I've been trying. I have definite thoughts on all of these. You enjoyed last month's Worth It or Worthless video and found it helpful, so I'm hoping by the end of this video you'll be able to decide if any of these products are worth purchasing. I'm going to kick this video off with this new palette from Urban Decay. This is the Naked Wild West palette. A lot of people have been very intrigued by this color story. Now, when I first saw this reminded me of, I think it was called the Beach palette that actually opened up from top to bottom, and it was a limited edition. So I immediately ran out and purchased this because I just love the whole warmth of this palette, yet there are a few cool tones in here, and then of course you have these kind of green blues. I like that in a palette. So I've worn this in a couple of videos. I've been trying this out behind the scenes. You have some mattes, metallics, shimmers. If you're wanting a palette that can go neutral but has some pops of color that are still wearable, I think this is great. And I find the blues to be not 80s blue. You can actually wear these, you know. I have been reaching for it a lot more than I thought. Now on my eyes today, I actually have a drugstore palette on that I will be talking about, but I did line with the deeper blue on top and the lighter blue, the shimmery blue on the bottom, and I didn't get fallout from either. I lined with them after my makeup was completely done. I've actually really been enjoying lining with this kind of deeper teal blue quite a bit. I originally thought I was gonna like this just for spring and summer, but I actually think it's great for year round. So if you're wanting something a little bit different from the norm that will give you neutral looks but will give you wearable pops of color, I think you can definitely get that from this palette. I've really been enjoying this. For me, this has been worth it. Now, I've had some great luck with e.l.f. lately, so I was excited to try this e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer. I bought this at the same time that I bought the Makeup Revolution Brightening Concealer that I talked about either in last month's favorites video or in the Worth It or Worthless video. I can't remember, but I loved that product. I was hoping this would kind of be the same thing. Now the applicator is quite different. The Makeup Revolution has a sponge tip while this has a click up pen applicator. I have to say I'm not a fan of the pen. It does click up quite a bit of product and you really just don't need that much. So while this does brighten and hydrate, I find that it does not give much coverage no matter how much product you apply. It won't even build up to full coverage. So if you don't have much to cover in the way of dark circles and you just need a little bit of brightening, this might really work for you. But for someone like me who does need even a corrector underneath my concealer, this just did not do much. So that Makeup Revolution brightener, which I will link down below as an alternative for this if you're looking for a drugstore option, completely won out over this, hands down. This was a pretty big disappointment for me from e.l.f. If they had just advertised this as a brightener, that would have been perfect, but they do call this a flawless brightening concealer, and yeah, it just did not conceal much at all. So all the products that I talk about in this video will be linked down below in the description box, as well as everything that I'm wearing today. If you're on mobile, just click the title below the video, and if you're on desktop, click the words show more below that title, and you can get to the drop down description box where you'll find everything that I talk about or that you see in this video. So I do want to mention that the foundation that I'm wearing today is the brand new Dior Natural Nude foundation. I don't talk about foundations in these videos because I do that in foundation roundups where I talk about several new or new to me foundations at once and give you my thorough review after I test them pretty thoroughly. This is my first day wearing and trying this foundation, and I'm also going to be talking about this powder, which is a little bit dark for me, but we're going to see what we can do with it. So if you want to see my thoughts on this new foundation as well as other new and new to me foundations that I'm trying, I'm going to have a foundation roundup coming up very soon, so be sure that you're subscribed to my channel so that you don't miss any new uploads. But I'll give you a couple of spoilers on this foundation. I do love the way it applied and the way it looked initially. I'm just not quite sure yet how it wears. So I just tried my first ever Chantecaille products. So they're not just luxury. When you buy products, it goes to support environmental causes, which makes me want to support that brand more than other luxury brands. I don't know. I just didn't really know that before. I'm sure if you're a luxury buyer, you probably already knew that, but I didn't. So when I received their blushes. I was really intrigued by the packaging. Now these are 2 new shades, but each one of their blushes goes to a different cause. So the philanthropy that the horse blush named Joy goes to is the American Wild Horse Camp, and the Sea Turtle blush is named Grace, and it goes to support Widecast Sea Turtle philanthropy. The packaging is lightweight, yet it's so pretty, and the shades were just so beautiful. They do have an overspray on the animal that does wipe away, so don't be scared if you think they're going to be too shimmery or too glittery. The shades are just really flattering, and you know, they don't emphasize anything bad if you are aging and you're worried about that, and they wear well throughout the day. So these are 2 new shades from Chantecaille that I just think are beautiful, and I love that, you know, each of their cheek shades goes to support a different philanthropy. And I received 2 shades of Lip Veil, which goes to support African elephants. This shade in particular is such a pretty shade of pink. I have a neutral shade that I actually left in my bedroom, but I'm going to show you a swatch here, which is just as beautiful. It's more of a neutral. These feel very thin yet hydrating and nourishing on the lips. So if you don't like a balm that has a thick consistency, I think you'll really like these, and they actually last a decent amount of time too. Now they did send the cushion foundation, but it was in the lightest shade and it was too light for me, so they're sending a shade that matches me so that I can test it out for a foundation roundup. So hopefully that'll be here for my next foundation roundup and I can report in on it. If you are into luxury items, I think these would be well worth it for you, but it's all about what's in your budget. I have really enjoyed these and I've been wearing them quite a bit. I just put up a new skincare routine video where I talked about the No. 7 vitamin C serum that I've been trying out and really enjoying for my sensitive skin. And they launched a bunch of vitamin C products. One of them is the Radiance Plus Vitamin C Daily Brightening Moisturizer. And I have to say, I am not really impressed with this. I have oily combination skin, but I do have some surface dehydration which can crop up because I'm using prescription tretinoin, and this is not hydrating enough for me, even in the daytime. I just find that that dryness kind of creeps back up more often when I use this. For me, and I would say anyone with any kind of normal to dry skin, this would not be enough hydration for you if you're wanting a vitamin C moisturizer. So even though this is drugstore, I would say this is not worth the money and that your money would be spent better on other daytime moisturizers. I'm going to stick with drugstore and move on to what I have on my eyes today. So these are the new-ish color icon palettes from Wet n Wild. I have the 10 palette here and the 5 palette here. These are the neutral shades of each. Of course, there are other shades. I'm going to have to put the names on the screen. I can't recall them offhand, and when you peel off the sticker, the name comes off. I can't believe they redesigned, relaunched these, and still did that with the stickers on their packaging. Who is the packaging designer that keeps doing that? So you can get a full look with this 5-pan palette. I mean, I did that today, except I lined with something else. I could easily have lined with this dark shade here. For the money, I think these are lovely. Do I think they needed to redesign and relaunch them? No, I don't, but they did. I mean, these aren't the newest launch in this bunch at all. I think I could have reviewed these a couple months ago, but I just wanted to throw them in here because I think there's a lot of people that are thinking, do I need to ditch my old version of these and buy the new one? No, you really don't. But if you haven't tried these before and you're looking for a good budget palette, I mean, these apply easily, they blend out nicely, and I really do like the shimmer shades in these. I apply them to the lid with my finger and, you know, they apply nicely. So I just wanted to kind of throw these in here just for a good drugstore palette option that is somewhat fairly new. Because of this big window over here shining a lot of extra light on my face right now, I feel like you can't really get an accurate picture of what this Westman Atelier Baby Cheeks blush stick looks like. So I'm going to put just a natural window picture in here just to give you a more accurate look. I have the shade, I would call this Cochette. I did look up how to pronounce this and there's not one of this name. Chochette, but it's a beautiful pinky peach nude. The packaging on this is top quality and it's got this lovely magnetic closure. This applies and blends out beautifully no matter if I'm applying it directly over foundation or if I apply it on top of powder. It looks natural and beautiful and it wears beautifully throughout the day too. This has been so worth the money. If you like cream and stick bronzers, blushes, that kind of thing, I don't think you would be disappointed with this product, and I think it's going to last a long time as well. Now this foundation is going to be going in my my upcoming foundation roundup, but I'm making a slight exception and putting it here too for the sole purpose of giving you a comparison to IT Cosmetics CC Cream. This is the e.l.f. Camo CC Cream. I just wanted to give you a quick perspective on that, my full review and thoughts as to how I think it wears throughout the day and applies and all that stuff will be in that foundation review. Now I have the shade Light 280N. It is significantly darker and peachier than the shade Medium in the IT CC Cream. So the shades are vastly different. I'm just kind of shocked at the shade Light being so much darker than a shade that's called Medium. Now, as far as texture, this is a little bit thicker and it kind of grips to the skin a little bit more as I'm applying it. So it does take a little bit more time to apply this. All that said, once they're applied, they really do look very similar. They give a similar amount of coverage. They wear very similarly too. Now, the big difference that you may notice, especially if you're someone like me that has sensitive skin, is that the e.l.f. Camo CC Cream has a chemical SPF in it, whereas the IT Cosmetics has a physical. I am someone who usually needs to wear a physical or my skin will react. So that is something big to note. You know, people are calling these dupes and some aspects of these are dupes, but the sunscreen ingredient is pretty different. Now you will save a significant amount of money. IT Cosmetics is close to $40. This one is around $14 or $15 for roughly the same amount of product. So it just depends on what matters to you, but I wanted to give you that quick perspective in this video. Again, full review on my actual thoughts on this in my foundation roundup coming soon. I actually didn't think I would like these because based on the description, I just thought it would be kind of a pointless, useless product. These are the Nars Soft Matte Tinted Lip Balms. The one that I have on my lips today is called Unrestricted. It's just a really nice neutral nude. I don't usually go for matte products in general, and when you hear matte lip balm, I just thought it was gonna feel drying, even though it did say lip balm. Now these are limited edition and they have ingredients in them that hydrate but give them a matte appearance, kind of a blurred appearance on the lips. They have olive oil, amino acid powder, and bamboo fibers. So they're sheer and buildable and matte, but also lightweight on the lips. They almost feel kind of moussey when you apply them, and then they kind of settle in into just a nice balmy texture. I don't know if they're appearing matte here because of this light shining through the window, but I find that most matte lip products emphasize lip lines while these soften the lips, and I do kind of like that blurred appearance that they give. I've actually been wearing these a little more than I thought. So when I want a neutral, I've been wearing Unrestricted, and when I want a product that gives a deeper tone that settles into a stain as it wears away, I've been wearing the shade Touch Me. It's got a little bit of brown to it, kind of a brick red brown, but it's not too deep either. So I've just been enjoying these more than I thought I would. Let's talk about this viral primer that everybody has gone crazy for. This is the NYX Marshmallow Primer. So I had the little baby size. It's 0.27 ounces. I'm not sure if this is still available, but I wanted to try it. So I got the small size, and the large size is 1 ounce, which is $17. So this is supposed to be this 10-in-1 primer that smooths, softens, extends wear up to 16 hours, hydrates, soothes, evens tone, minimizes texture, blurs lines, adds a soft focus finish, and keeps makeup fresh. So it's got this kind of sweet scent because of the marshmallow root extract. It does have a nice scent, I will say that. I've tried this with several foundations that, you know, I love and know how they wear throughout the day. I don't quite get the hype of this. I mean, it's an okay primer. It's definitely not my favorite. I think it does a good job of smoothing and blurring and helping my makeup last a decent amount of time, but it definitely doesn't keep my shine away as the day goes on, and that is something that I look for in a primer. So maybe if you don't get shiny in your T-zone, this could be the miracle of all miracle primers, but for me, with my oily T-zone, this was just not that amazing. So even for $17, this was not worth me spending my money on. I'm very glad that I got the little teeny tiny size. I will say that much. Speaking of marshmallow products here, I have two highlighters, two different formulas here from Saie Beauty. So this one is called the Dewbalm Bouncy Marshmallow Highlighter, and this one is the Glowy Super Gel. I just wanted to see the difference between the two to see if I like them both or if one was better than the other, just the differences between the two. So I'm just striking out with the marshmallow products. This does not have a bouncy marshmallow consistency whatsoever. It's a very thick paste consistency that you really have to to rub in to get it to meld in with the skin. So if you have foundation on or anything underneath it, it's going to take that off. It looks like it's going to give this beautiful sheen, this beautiful shimmer. Actually, by the time you blend it into the skin, you really can't see that much. So this was pretty much a dud for me. I don't quite see the point of this or why they call it Bouncy Marshmallow Highlighter. It just, no. Oh, FYI, if you're interested in this at all, the shade that I have is Rosy Gold. The shade I have in the Super Gel is Star Glow. This, on the other hand, is a light, creamy liquid that blends into the skin super easily. You can wear this alone or you can mix this in with other products. Now, this is the mini I got for $15. There's a full 1 ounce size that's $25. This has no shimmer to it. It's a very natural, dewy looking highlighter. I would almost equate this to being the liquid version of the RMS Beauty Luminizer. Is that the name of it? It's just a super natural look and it doesn't stay sticky or anything like that. There is a subtle scent to it that I don't notice once it's on my face, but I do want to note that. So this one, no. This one, yes. This is a really nice product. I mean, I think you could get away with the mini and it would last forever. A little goes a long way. I mean, you know, with this type of product, you just don't use much. This was completely worth it. Be sure and check out my Ulta 21 Days of Beauty video. If you're shopping that event, there are a lot of online only deals and catalog deals that I cover, and it got really exciting once the online only things came into play. I'll link that here for you. I hope you found this video helpful and that it helps you decide what you might want to spend your money on and what you might not. Let me know if there are any products you want me to try, want me to give you my review on down below in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video and subscribe if you're not. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.